the video. This is Goose for Goose of All Trades. We'll do podcasts and other videos. Today we are looking at the announcement to the Socceroos squad for the 2022 World Cup. And then, we'll be doing a reaction and seeing who missed out, who was lucky to get in, and vice versa. So, please join me. Okay, first, so we'll just run through the squad. The goalkeepers are Matty Ryan, Andrew Redmayne, and Danny Vukovic. Move on to our defenders, which are Milos Deganek, Aziz Baich, Joel King, Nathaniel Atkinson, Fran Karacic, Harry Suter, Kai Rouse, Bailey Wright, and Thomas Deng. Right, now we have the midfielders. We have Aaron Moy, Jackson Irvine, Ayin Hrustic, Keanu Bacchus, Cameron Devlin, and Riley McGree. Right, now lastly we have the most important line, the forwards. We have Awer Mabil, Matthew Leckie, Martin Boyle, Jamie McLaren, Jason Cummings, Mitchell Duke, Gurang Kuol, and Craig Goodwin. Right, so that was the squad. First of all, I'd love to hear everyone's opinions in the comments down below. Please let me know who you think was overlooked, someone that should have been in the team, someone that, definitely should not be in the team, or you think we've got a good balance. Please leave a comment down below. And if you agree with my video, or you don't, like the video and subscribe if you want to see more content about the World Cup. So we'll start off with, I think the biggest missing person is probably Tom Rogic. We know that he's had kind of a delayed start to the season. When he left Celtic, he pretty much stopped any contract negotiations with any team for a while. He came back to Australia, relaxed, was still training, but he kind of just took a bit of time off, which is fair enough. He's been at the same club playing for one of the best clubs in his league at the time for Celtic, so I don't blame him for that. So, and he's not playing for a great team, he hasn't been playing. I'm kind of stumbling my words, but he hasn't been playing that great. But Tommy Rogic is just one of those players that you just expect to see in the team because he's been around, the past two World Cups, I think. So it is strange, and he's always been an important part of the qualifying, but it just goes to show that, passing of the torch with certain players and whatnot. Very excited to see Harry Suter in the team. We're all not sure if he was going to make the team because of his injury. He's only just come back from that the past week or two, and he has been playing a lot. He's still maybe got, I think, 2 more games, if that, to get in. So Harry probably won't start the first game. I'd be very surprised if he starts against France, but that's a game we need him the most because he's got the height and he's strong. And we know how good France is in every aspect of their game. But I'm very happy to see Martin Boyle make the team. He's going to be our X factor. He's very exciting. He is a great scorer. He's proven that he can score on the international scale. Unfortunately, he missed a big chunk of international when he was injured, but he's back now. He's 100% healthy. He's playing good football. I really think he's going to be an X factor for us. But another X factor is Gurang Kuol. Now, this bloke has got talent. He's just signed with Newcastle. He's going over there in January, obviously after the World Cup. He's finishing up in the A-League, and he came on as a sub. Instantly, he had 2 scoring involvements. So he's going to be an X factor. He's probably not going to start. He's probably not going to play a lot of minutes, but he's a guy that Graham's going to bring on in maybe the 60th, 70th minute, maybe even early, maybe even later, depending on what the game's like, to start something up offensively. We know that Graham hasn't always been great at kind of cementing a game style, so we don't know if he's going to park the bus against France just to try and get the 1 point and then try and score against Tunisia and maybe get another point or maybe a win from Denmark. That's kind of how Graham likes to play. But, Gurang Kuol is in exceptional form. He's young. He's 19. He's got plenty more World Cups. He's got plenty more Asian Cups. It's great experience for him as a 19-year-old. So, look forward to seeing him in this World Cup and the future. Obviously, no surprises. You have players like Matty Ryan, Awer Mabil, Matthew Leckie, Jamie McLaren, all players playing exceptionally well in their respective leagues and teams. McLaren is just probably one of the greatest scorers in the history of the A-League. I know that's not really a bar set very high, but the A-League has definitely gotten better with our local talent, but also the imports we're bringing in, the marquee players as they call it. in the A-League. So, yeah, I think McLaren is... He's going to be our number one guy up front. He's going to be our scorer. We have Awer Mobile on the wing that can score. He can score absolute fucking screamers, and he's one of the most exciting players. We're going to rely on him a lot. He's going to be one of our best players. I'm calling it now. And you have Matthew Leckie, who's in incredible form in the A-League at the moment. Obviously, he's not playing in the leagues he used to. The quality is obviously not as good, but I mean, you can only beat who you play, and he's just dominating. Him and McLaren already have that partnership, so that's going to be really exciting. We have Thomas Deng in the back. I think is very, very solid. He's just been playing really, really well since he's cracked into the Socceroos team a few years ago. He's just been playing good club football as well. Obviously, I have Aaron Moy. Was probably our second best player for a long time behind Milay Jadnak. We'll get to him shortly. Moy, he's still good. He's not playing a lot of minutes for Celtic. His form in club football has really dropped. It's kind of hard to tell his form at the international level, just with the big time off with COVID and not playing a lot of friendlies, a bit of World Cup qualifiers. He hasn't been the greatest. He's still playing for Celtic, which is a decent league, right? But I don't see him having the impact he used to, and this really worries me because this was a time where Aaron should have been stepping up. I know he's not that young. He's really not that much younger than Milay Jadnak, but Jadnak stepping away leaves a massive hole for us. Like, it really worries me. He was the guy that was strong in the middle. He was a fucking great leader, probably the best captain the Socceroos ever had. You can at me in the comments, but it's true. He's an incredible leader. He's the reason why we qualified for the 2018 World Cup. Pretty much fucking carried that win on his back. So, and he was a guy that we relied upon on penalties for 10 years for Socceroos. We're close to, and it's like he never missed a penalty. And he also was very good at free kicks as well. And I know Aaron Moy is quite good at free kicks as well. But yeah, Jadnak, he was tall, he was strong. Like I said, we don't really have a lot of height or strength in this team, which really worries me. I think we're going to get bullied. We're going to get pushed around by stronger teams. We do have speed, though, which is good. Our skill level is okay. Not the best, but probably not the worst we've been, for sure. And Andrew Redmayne, of course, got added. I don't see him playing. I really don't see, unless obviously Matty Ryan gets injured, he'll probably get the call up before Vukovic, because he's obviously one of Graham's boys, and Graham's boys are always going to get the call up. But Trent Sainsbury didn't, which is really surprising, but I'm glad he didn't, because his form has been terrible, just like Tommy Juric. They've all been great servants for the Socceroos, but not good enough. But yeah, I don't see Andrew Redmayne getting into this team. And I don't, even if we're in the same position as we were in the qualifiers against Peru, where they brought him in obviously for the penalties, and it was just such a big thing, and it worked. It won't work again. Teams will scout that, and his bullshit won't work again. And I mean that bullshit in a good way, by the way. I like Andrew. I think he's really good. There's a reason why he's in the A-League. I don't think he'll ever leave the A-League, in my opinion. He's not 100% reliable. Matty Ryan is a great leader on the pitch as well. I mean, I'm not entirely sure who's going to be the set captain for this World Cup, but he would probably be one of the picks, I would say. Up there with, I would say probably McLaren. Sorry, not McLaren. Leckie would probably be a good choice for captain. Leckie would probably be my choice. And then we have just big stalwarts of Australian football. We have Aziz Baich and Milos Degenek. I was so glad to see Degenek make the team, because I wasn't entirely sure, because there hasn't been a lot of word or noise around him lately. But he is playing in the MLS, and let's be honest, MLS is probably a lot more money than the A-League, probably a better quality. And I know they are a bit like the A-League, though. They get a lot of players a bit past their prime, or pretty much on the way out of their prime. But they have a great football program over there. They get a lot of crowds. It's very well supported. So great to see Dagenek in the team. Baich is very important to us. He has incredible pace off of that back line. His skills are really good. He can really create those runs up the wing that are important for us, and he can score if he wants to. If there's an opportunity, he can score. I don't think we should rely on him scoring, but he's definitely a good option. But yeah, like I said, this is an interesting team. It's actually quite incredible. Before the actual team was announced, just off the top of my head, I thought, this team's going to be majority A-League, just because it's not like the golden generation of '06 where I think it was like 85, 90% of the team were playing overseas. And not only that, but of those ones playing overseas, I think 50, 60% were playing in really fucking good leagues. And I thought, oh no, like, this isn't great. But, I mean, we have Degenak is the only player in MLS in America, but this may catch people off guard. We have 7 players that are currently playing in the A-League, and we also have 7 playing in the Scottish Championship League. Now, that's incredible to me. Obviously, Graham, he was an apprentice to Ange pretty much. They have a good relationship. They both coached against each other in the A-League for a brief period there. They've both been great workers for Australian football for a long time. So I'm not surprised that there's a big Scottish influence. Because we know that Graham, obviously, he likes using A-League guys. But to see 7 A-Leaguers and 7 Scottish Championship players is really good to see. I mean, the Scottish Championship, isn't the league it used to be 40 years ago, but it's still a really good league. I mean, it's better than the A-League, of course. Probably not, I wouldn't say like leaps and bounds better, but, and you have a few players that play on the same teams as well. So that's going to be a good dynamic to have. We don't have the superstars we used to. I mean, it's hard for us fans to let go, especially my generation, where I got into soccer literally because of that golden generation qualifying for the World Cup against Uruguay in penalties and doing so well, our best ever result in the World Cup, when it was our first time in the World Cup, I think, for 30 years at that point, or something ridiculous. So we don't have Harry Kewell, we don't have Tim Cahill, we don't have Mark Bresciano, we don't have those guys, but I think we're in a good group. I mean, we played a lot against France and we played a lot against Denmark. I mean, France were in our group last time. We played really well against a team that turned out to be the bloody winners. I mean, we've got to hold our head high. Obviously, we choked the last 2 games, where I thought we maybe could have finished second in that group. If we took it to France and only just lost, in the dying minutes of the game, I honestly thought we could have, but we disappointed as usual. Australia, it's a thing that we do. We start really, really well. Look at 2014. We took Netherlands to the brink, and how far did Netherlands make it? So, but then we ended up bottoming them out. I think we came 4th again, maybe 3rd in that group. It's a problem we've always had. It's a systemic problem, and I don't know what it is. And you can't blame the coach, because we've had different coaches every time. But it needs to be a problem. If we start well against France in this group, I'm not saying we'll win, but if we can squeeze a fucking point, if we can really squeeze a point, if we can, and I don't like parking the bus, but if we can park the bus and be really defensive against France, we're looking good against Tunisia. But I'm not writing Tunisia off. They're a team no one's talking about, but that doesn't mean fucking anything. Alright, no one was talking about any Asian or African teams last World Cup. Have a look at Japan. They shocked the world, making it to the final 16, and they played so well. There's always bolters, right? That could be us, that could be Tunisia, who knows? Denmark, we don't have the best record against them, but it's not terrible. Eriksson is one of those players where I think he loves playing against Australia because he always plays really well. I think Tunisia is a very winnable game, for sure. We can win. We can beat Tunisia. Can we beat France? No, I don't think we're a chance in hell against France, to be honest. Unless we park the bus, it's 0-0, and we get a penalty in the 93rd minute and we score it. That's the only chance we're beating France. Denmark is another opportunity to get a point. But if we can get a win and get 2 points, well, that's 5 points, and that's looking pretty good to finish second of the group. If we can beat Denmark, shit, that'll look good for us. We'll be second for sure, and we'll be qualifying for the first time since '06. Do I see it happening? I don't know. I'm not overly confident. This team isn't great, but I just think just the choice of players, the X factors, the scoring, certain players being in good form. I think on paper, we have a better team than 2018. Obviously, like I said, we don't have Mela Jadnak, and that leaves a big fucking hole. And Aaron Moy hasn't been that good since that World Cup, and we need him to step in to be our best player. But I don't think he's going to be. It's hard to say who our best player will be. There's no one big standout player. I think we're quite spread along. But yeah, I mean, we talk about the players missed out. We have Daniel Lozani. I mean, he's a disappointing story. When he first came on the scene in those World Cup qualifiers and whatnot, we thought, wow, this guy's our next star. Like, he's our next Harry Kewell. He's our next Mela Jadnak. But unfortunately, we don't know if it's that injury that he suffered at Celtic when he was on loan. But he's in the A-League now, playing for MacArthur. They're currently, I think, fourth to last. Not a great record. He hasn't been playing that good, so it's not a surprise he didn't get picked. It's, yeah, like I said, really disappointing because he showed it incredible promise. I don't see him getting called up for the future now. If he's not getting called up now, I doubt he will. But we've seen other players debut a lot older. But yeah, we have, like I said, a good spread of players. That second game against Tunisia is obviously make or break. I mean, if we draw against them, it's not going to look good. We have to beat Tunisia. If we beat Tunisia, going to the third game of Denmark, we're going to have a lot of good momentum, and we're going to have belief that we can finish second of the group. But if we draw with Tunisia, or if we lose Tunisia, obviously it's done. We're not qualifying for sure. But if we draw against Tunisia, it's going to be a worry going into Denmark because we have to beat them to qualify. And even then, we might not even qualify. Now, that all depends on if we draw with France, which I don't think we will. That's just wishful thinking, but that's what we have to do. We have to draw against France. But if we lose against France, which I think we will, there's a 98% chance we're losing against France. We have to beat Tunisia. We have to. They are probably on the same level as us. They probably don't have as many players playing overseas like we do. It was quite interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on it, guys. It's a shortish video, but yeah, it's just a reaction. I probably will do a live reaction. Well, not a live reaction, sorry, a reaction to Wales team because a lot of people don't know I'm half Welsh. I'm half Aussie, half Welsh. So excited both teams are qualified for the first time in my lifetime. So I'll be doing a reaction to Wales announcement, which is happening in a couple of days. So make sure you don't miss out on that. If you don't want to miss out, hit that subscribe button. Excuse me. And please, like I said, in the comments down below, let me know who you think shouldn't have missed out, should have missed out, overrated, underrated, where you think will go in this group. I mean, it's not the best group, but it's definitely not the worst group to be in. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below. If there's anything you disagree with down below, please, as always, let me know. Obviously in a good way. But yeah, and make sure to stay tuned to more World Cup content. I will be doing a full-length podcast about predicting the whole World Cup in each group and who we think will win. So make sure you don't miss out on that and subscribe. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I've been Goose for Goose of All Trades, and I'll catch you later.